All right, YouTube. This Detroit's HPTV coming to you out of Detroit. It's Saturday morning, and I want to do a reaction to a story out of Memphis, Tennessee. Now, YouTube, I hope you can't think that you can censor this video because of my reaction to it, because I'm reacting to something that's already posted on YouTube. So we're going to start there. This is freedom of the press. In Memphis, a mother of 4 children allowed her children to engage in a fight with several other children. Now, this is the chaos that's in our communities. In Philadelphia, 8 students shot waiting on a bus to go home from school. All the violence in our community that's going on in Chicago. All the violence in our communities with no answer. But the Democrats say, defund the police. Tell me how that makes sense. In your community, defund the police. This was an idea supported by the Democratic Party. Why do you want to defund the police in the most chaotic and crime-ridden communities in America, where your constituents live? You know, the Democratic Party, they like to say the black woman is the backbone of the Democratic Party and the voting bloc for them. But they leave them the most unprotected and convince them somehow to say that they want to defund the police in their communities. See, the race baiting and the propaganda has turned our communities into war zones with no answer. They the ones say they wanted bail reform so that you commit a crime and you immediately let back out to commit more crimes. I wonder, are you really paying attention to what's going on in this country? And at the same time, they're opening the borders to criminals from Venezuela, Haiti, and all over the world into our communities. At what point can't you see that this is to destabilize our communities, to destroy our sense of community, our sense of neighborhood? Because what would make a community of adults allow their children to fight and then try to referee the fight with pistols? You got to think about that. This is where you live. And I know, I used to tell a lot of women that I know, stop thinking because they give you a license to carry and they give you a firearm, that gives you the okay to pull that gun out. You wear your guns in our community proudly, as if that's some type of power because you have a gun. It's chaos. And it's sad. So I'm going to share this clip with you. And then I'm going to do my reaction after this. Now, a lot of the violence has been blurred out, and they blurred out the children. But watch this, America. Watch this, Patriots. And you get in the comments and you tell me what you really think about this. This for fair usage under the 1976 Copyright Act, commentary, educational purpose, and the First Amendment, and the right to a free press. Check this out.
First at 5, a mother sadly is dead and 3 other people wounded after a shooting in South Memphis. Memphis police saying a street fight among children ended with gunshots and everything was captured on camera. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Greg Hurst.
Lots of chaos there. I'm Stephanie Skurlock. WREG's Kwamitra Wilburn spoke to witnesses who say this could have all been avoided.
It's an encounter that has left people in this South Memphis community heartbroken. Video shared with WREG shows a man shooting and killing a woman following a massive street fight. Court documents identify the victim as Tamara Plummer. Close friends say she died protecting her children. MPD says the shooting happened on Quinn Avenue Thursday evening. Angela Hinton says Plummer.
First of all, she wasn't protecting her children. She should have told her children to go in the house and call the police. I'm going to say that again. The best way for her to protect her children was to tell her children to go inside the house and then call the police. But of course, in our communities, we want to defund the police. We want to take matters in our own hand. We want to act like this is really the wild, wild west. And we really want to act like women can do battle with men. Do you know that when a woman joins the army, the military, they don't ever allow them to get on the front line and fight men? They don't. So you arm these black women in the black community, and for some reason in their mind, they think they can do battle with men. There's an unwritten rule amongst men. You never pull a weapon unless you're going to use it. All men understand that. If you're a man, put a comment in the chat if you understand that men understand you do not pull a firearm or any weapon unless you're going to use it. If you're not prepared to use it, you don't pull it. But for some reason, those rules have been sunk into women. When one of my subscribers asked me to do my take on this story, and I tried to find it, it was so hard to find this particular story because it has happened so many times. And it's not getting reported. What's wrong with the mentality in our community that we think we should wage war on each other, or we have forgot the sense of community, the sense of having a judgment? Parents allowing their children to fight while the parents referee with firearms. This is the Democrats' idea of democracy. And let's finish the video.
Whom she affectionately calls Tammy, is her godniece.
She was always happy when she come around me.
The video starts with Plummer, seen in green, talking to 2 men. The adults are surrounded by rowdy teenagers. A witness and close friend says the men walked to Plummer's home with their children in an attempt to fight Plummer's children. Suddenly, a teen lashes out at another and the brawl breaks out. We've blurred much of the video since it's believed majority of the people involved are minors. You can see Plummer armed with a gun and the men attempt to break up the fight. After several grueling seconds, the witness tells WREG Plummer raised her weapon intending to end the fight. However,
we're going to stop there. Did you hear that? The men were attempting to break up the fight amongst the children. And she ups her stick. She ups her pole. She ups the pipe. In the middle of all that chaos and fighting, in her mind, rationally or irrationally, you decide. Instead of her grabbing and separating children, she ups her weapon in the middle of that chaos and all these teenagers. For what? Shouldn't you be sending your kids in the house? Better yet, where is their daddy? You got 4 kids. No daddy present. And the best thing that you could think of as a parent is to go outside with your children and a firearm and allow those teenagers, these kids, to start a melee in front of your house, in your neighborhood, and in your community. And then once it gets out of hand, these children that should have been home on punishment, doing their homework, you got them out there like you think it's all a game. And now they want to talk about, oh, she was a nice person and she always was smiling and she loved to do hair. What kind of mother was this? And I'm not trying to shame her, but as a man, a grown man, a mature man, nobody's coming to my house to fight my children. I'm taking my children and telling them to go in the house, and I'm going to diffuse it by saying my children are in the house. And I'm going to discipline them. So there's no reason for you to come down here. I'm going to discipline my children. You won't see them outside for a minute because they're going to be on punishment, sir. That would have diffused that. Somebody come down there, oh, your kids did this, no problem. My kids is in the house and they finna be on punishment. Because their grades ain't what they need to be anyway. So I'm going to handle this. Thank you for telling me what happened. Thanks for letting me know what's going on. Y'all have a good day. I'm finna go in here and get my house together. That's not what this woman did. This woman strapped up, came out, allowed her kids to fight, and in the heat of the fight, she ups her weapon. Think of the mentality. You up your weapon. What am I supposed to do when you up your weapon? If I got one. You raising yours. For whatever reason, I'm not thinking about you going to fire in the air or you going to do something else stupid like that. Men, get in this comment. What happens when someone ups their weapon and you have a weapon? Do you consider that they might not use it on you? Or do you defend yourself and yours? See, this is the chaos in our community that's despicable. And they call it a tragedy. And they even arrested her child and they arrested the other parent, and it's just sad. So who wins? But yet you say defund the police. What would have happened if she'd have sent her children in the house, and if the people didn't leave in front of her house, she called the police? Guess what would have happened? The police would have came, they would have dispersed, they would have went home to their house, and we wouldn't have this tragedy. So our communities are really a war zone at this point. This is Biden's America. What we're looking at is Biden's America. Let's finish this story.
Before Plummer could shoot in the air, this man walks toward her and fatally shoots her.
She loved to doing hair, but I ain't never known her being no violent person.
MPD identifies the man as Jayon Davis. In another video shared on social media, a woman can be seen shooting Davis as he walks away after shooting Plummer. Police say she's Plummer's daughter, 20-year-old Destiny Plummer. Another woman and a juvenile were also hit. Close friends say Plummer was a dedicated mother who did everything she could to protect her children.
That's a lie. That's a lie. The only thing she needs to do to protect her children is to tell them to go in the house. Go in the house and sit down somewhere while I talk to these other adults. But you want to say she's a dedicated mother. Is that what that looked like in this video? Really? Me as a father and a grandfather, and you come to my house about my children, the first thing I'm going to do is tell my children, go in the house. I'm not upping my firearm. I'm going to ask the other adults, what's going on? My child hit your child. My child took something from your child. My child got your child's bike. They're going to tell me what the issue is. And I'll be like, no problem. I'm going to go in this house and talk to my kids. Take down my number and call me a little bit later, or just come down a little bit later. Let me go in here and get my kids together, and we can talk. That would have diffused the whole situation. What do these people think they are?
Now you look around, she doing everything for her kids, supporting. And I love the way she bring them up, the way she talk to them, communicating, and she stay focused on them all the time.
Destiny Plummer is charged with reckless endangerment, while Davis faces a first-degree murder charge. Reporting from South Memphis, Quamitra Wilborn, WREG, News Channel 3.
Growing fears of a mass migration because of the crisis.
That's what he's charged with. He'll never get convicted of that. Because she pulled her weapon first. See, this is what equality looks like, women. Equality looks like if you do things that men do, you will have men consequences. Men, what happens if you pull a weapon on another man and he has a weapon, but you bluffing with yours? Of course, this situation is tragic. It's sad because now 4 children don't have a parent because there was no daddy there. So they probably don't have any parent at this point. They got to go to their grandma's house or something like that. And the other adult who was down there with his kids, come to find out he wasn't even supposed to have a weapon. So he's going to jail. So somebody lost their daddy and somebody lost their mama in the black community. Like, we can afford to have more children without parents or supervision. Of course, this is a sad story, but there's so many moral rules broken in this story. And it just baffles me that they can say, oh, she was such a good mother and she, she was doing hair, and a good mother would have sent their children to that house. And we just gonna talk about this incident. A good mother would have told their children, go in the house. What happened to those type of mothers that say, go in the house? Don't leave off the porch. Be home before the street lights come on. You think about this story because it's going on in all the communities. Craziness, madness, insanity. As if we don't realize the difference between right and wrong, good and evil. In this country, we're battling for the very souls of our children. And it's just a sad story all the way around. But I don't want nobody talking about she was a good mother. No mother does that. Marches out the house with all her children to do battle with other children in the neighborhood. Who had that kind of mother? I had the kind of mother I had to come home straight from school. I had to at least act like I did my homework. This is sad all the way around. Signing to you out of Detroit. Keep y'all head on a swivel. Peace and salute to all patriots. Like, share, and subscribe. This is bad.